I'm going to share with you the only two components that make up the entire YouTube algorithm. And yes, there's only two. Let's strip away the confusion and dive into the real deal, because understanding these two components can be a true accelerator for you. Now, when it comes down to it, most people think of the algorithm as this thing that's too big, too complex, too obscure, hard to understand, hard to explain, thing that is just totally out to get you as a content creator and crush you. And some content creators may actually believe that, but I totally disagree. I believe all that junk is a bunch of crap. The algorithm is not too complex, it's not too obscure, and it can actually be easy to understand. And I'm gonna prove it right now. What's up guys, Corey Oldham here, and I'm a YouTuber just like you. And yes, in this video, we're gonna explain the YouTube algorithm, but more importantly, we're gonna share with you how you can leverage it to your advantage. But let's cut to the chase. There are only two components that make up the YouTube algorithm. There's a take inside, and then there's a take outside. For the take inside of the algorithm, some people try to get fancy and have called it the deep learning machine. But since basically no one truly understands what the heck that even means, and since I like to keep things simple, think of the algorithm like a student in a classroom that's eager to learn. And the job of the student is to take on information and knowledge that it's given and then make sense of it, just like learning. And the algorithm's job is the exact same. Its job is to take in the information that it's given, which is the content uploaded to YouTube, and then make sense of it. So the algorithm is basically like a student when it comes to the content that you upload. And it's learning everything about your content. It's learning what your channel is about. It's learning your niche. It's learning your voice. It's learning what you have in the background of your videos. It's learning literally everything. So it's intense. But students in the classroom do the exact same thing. They're just like a sponge and take it all in. And so does the algorithm. It's like your student taking it all in. So when you hear the phrase deep learning machine, simply think of it as a student to your content. Now let's talk about the other half of the algorithm, the take outside. This is where the algorithm begins to take the content that you gave it and it begins to take out or share it with other people. And as the algorithm learns more about you and your content, it begins to share it accordingly. Now think back to the student analogy we gave just a minute ago. Think of this maybe even as your kiddo learning something new and exciting at school. So they share with you what they learned that day. And based on how well it goes over when your kiddo shares with you, they may begin to share it over and over again with other people. And your kiddo may even remember it down the road and share it again later. Same thing goes for YouTube. It begins to share the content that's uploaded, and based on the response, it begins to share more and more. But you get the principle. The YouTube algorithm is like a student. And that's it. That's the secret. Those are the two components to the YouTube algorithm. Content that's being taken in by the algorithm and learned, and then taken out by the algorithm and shared with the masses. And you may even still be thinking, no, but it's more complex than that because it's got to account for this thing or that thing. And I'm here to tell you, all those things that seem to make it more complex fall into one of these two categories: being taken in and learned, or being taken out and shared. So everything else boils down to the fact that the algorithm is simply a machine that learns your stuff and then shares your stuff. So knowing this, here's a list of things that the YouTube algorithm is not. The algorithm does not have feelings or opinions. It's a machine, not a person. The algorithm is not biased or judgmental against types of content. It doesn't have a preference as to what's uploaded to YouTube. It just knows what people respond to based on what it's already learned and shares content accordingly. Now, can this change? Absolutely. Which leads to the next point. The algorithm is not static or fixed. It evolves and changes with user behavior. And it's not trying to punish you or your channel either, even though it can certainly feel that way, especially when creators are just starting out. The algorithm also does not have a preference or a dislike among individual creators. There's not someone sitting behind the curtain and picking and choosing which content creators or channels grow and which do not.
The great Oz has spoken. Oh.
And to take it a step further, the algorithm only wants two things. It wants better content and it wants more of it. Now, why does YouTube want these two things from its content creators? Because if YouTube can learn your channel and your content and then connect your channel with viewers that want to see your content, then that translates to viewers staying on YouTube longer, which is exactly what you want as a content creator, people staying on your channel. And it's exactly what YouTube wants as a platform, people staying on YouTube. So the real question is this: how do you leverage the algorithm in your own favor? Simple. Make better content for your channel and then make more of it. And if that feels harsh, I totally get it. I'm right there with you. But it really boils down to those two things: making better content and making more of it. So what else can you do to help support yourself as you begin to make better content and make more of it? Number 1, publish content regularly. The algorithm naturally favors creators who publish consistently over time because channels that publish regularly keep people on the platform. Number 2, keep your content consistent. Creating consistent content that supports the specific interest in your niche is critical. You're probably not going to make a baking video if your channel is about business. And even if you did, people would probably leave your channel and the algorithm would pick up on that. Number 3, look for engagement and watch time. Both good and bad, engagement and watch time is feedback. And if people are staying on your content longer and longer, it tells the algorithm that your content is resonating with people and getting them to stick around, which is a good thing. So simply put, to leverage the algorithm in your favor, push yourself to make better content and make more of it. If you learned something from this video, give it a share and make sure you subscribe so you can see more tips on how to grow your YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.